Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? Are you guys doing well? This is Usama Tahir from Learn English with Usama Tahir. Today I am making lecture on Dell Hymes speaking model. What is it? It is contextual language features. These are contextual language features in this model. So before formally starting our video lecture, we have few points like usually in our routine, we think a little bit, then we move forward to the exact topic of discussion. The first point here is, do you think that there are few rules and features to start a purposeful conversation? What do you think? Whenever we make conversation or communication, what are the few rules and features that should be there in a conversation to make it healthy, fruitful, and purposeful? Okay, there would be few things that are essential in a communication to make it useful and purposeful. So what are those features? This is the point you need to think about. Next question is, do we have contextual features too along with linguistic aspects for conducting conversation? I mean, being a linguist students, we know there are linguistic aspects in different intonation patterns, our vocabulary, sentence structure, morphological structure, how we are making words. These are all the linguistic aspects. But do we have some contextual features? Is there anything in the context which is necessary for making a conversation beneficial? I mean, there is a role of context and the background knowledge of the speakers. There must be few things. What are these? And the third question is, do you think place, time, purpose, participants affect the way we speak? Time, place, time, purpose of our speech, participant to whom we are speaking affect the way we speak. I mean, the way we speak in the morning when we are energetic is different. The way we speak at the midnight is different. Okay, the way we speak in a school is different. It's example of place. The way we speak in a mosque is different. If our purpose is different, speech would be different. If our purpose is to rebuke someone, we will use louder tone. If our purpose is to appreciate someone, our tone will be milder. So it depends. And participants also depends and affects our way we speak. Like we will speak differently with a child than an adult. So this is the thing you need to understand. And all of these questions will be answered in this model which was given by Dell Hymes, so don't worry. Do we have different speech for adults, kids and colleagues? If yes, then why? Why it does happen we speak differently with different participants? Okay, let's introduce Dell Hymes first. He was born in 1927 in Portland, Oregon. He was a linguist, sociolinguist, folklorist, and anthropologist. Okay, he was a linguist, sociolinguist, and he was into understanding the history of humankind, and he was also in the history of human. He was also in the studies of history of human. I mean, old folks and something like that. He was very famous sociolinguist and a linguist. He gave speaking model and discussed contextual features in it. The model we are going to discuss today in this video lecture. Okay, speaking is the acronym to easily understand the model. Okay, this is he used the technique of mnemonics to memorize or to make it easy for its users. Like speaking, you will take first alphabet and there would be one contextual feature. Don't worry, it's very easy. Speaking acronym S for setting. This S for setting. Okay, this is the first contextual feature. Next is P for participant. Okay, this E for ends, like goals. This A, the next A is for X sequence. K for key. I for instrumentalities. I mean, with every alphabet there would be a contextual feature, so it would be very easy to memorize in for your exams. And N for norms, G for genre. This is the acronym. So this is very easy to memorize because of this acronym, and now we are going to learn them in detail. What is meant by setting? It is a contextual feature, and what is it? Setting involves time, place, and physical circumstances. I mean, whenever we speak, there would be a time, there would be a place, and there would be physical circumstances. Like it could be cold, it could be hot, anything like that. Or there could be different physical circumstances like the color of furniture, the colors of walls, and everything that is around you and that affects the way you speak. And it also involves psychological factors, that what is the effect of our psychology about a place on our speech. For example, whenever going to a bank, some people get nervous because the psychological factors involved and affects their speech, that that place is different, they don't feel like comfortable here, and they speak differently. So one is the physical circumstances, another one is psychological factors. So both involves in setting, and setting depends, and with this setting we speak differently. We speak differently at home, we speak differently at relatives, we speak differently at a bank, school, mosque, or at a job interview. I mean, in every setting our speech and communicative act and everything would be different, and we try to adapt to these situations that we are surrounded with. For example, home has different setting than classroom. Everybody knows it. You can't be home like at a classroom. Yeah, classroom you gotta be formal and you gotta be well dressed up and things like that. And bank has different setting. Sorry, it's a typing mistake. I want to say bank has different setting than a mosque, and mosque setting is different than others. Effects. Physical circumstances and psychological circumstances changes the way we speak, as I have explained. Further, the next feature is participants. Okay, to whom we are addressing is the participant, to whom we are talking is the participant in a communicative act. So one of the major aspect and feature of communication is the understanding of norms according to participant. For example, what is appropriate to say in front of your parents and not in front of young siblings. I mean, the way you speak to your parents would be different because they are different participants than your young siblings. For example, understanding of your addresser participant changes the way you speak, like will be different for a girl, boy, or old fellow. You will speak differently with a boy, with a girl, or an old man, or an old woman. We speak differently with our boss and our colleague, varying more formal to less formal language varieties. Even our varieties changes, guys. We speak in a formal variety with our boss or with our parents, and we speak, in less formal language varieties are used when we are talking with our colleagues, friends, and even with close friends. We try to convey our message by using slangs and even using abusive language. It depends because of participant feature. Next one is overall participant plays a significant role in determining any conversation with respect to its multiple features. Overall, participant plays a significant role in determining where your communication would go, what would be the end of your conversation, and what would be the nature of it. Next is ends. Ends mean purpose, goal, and outcome of your communication. This is also an important contextual feature. It refers to a definite goal in mind with the particular communicative event. That what is the purpose of uttering this communication at this spot. For example, to make someone your friend, you would be friendly, your tone would be different, the way you use formal variety, and you will be courteous. And to argue, you will have a louder tone, your manner would be, your language would be different, you will use slangs, maybe you would be abusive, or maybe you would be louder, harsh, anything like that. To exemplify, you would use an anecdote or any example to exemplify something. To order, your tone would be dominating, and your words would be different, and you will use proper way of speech and differently. To appreciate, you will use kind words, your vocabulary would be different. So your purpose define the way you speak. Ends. Okay, next one is act sequence. Act sequence is the arrangement in which you arrange your speech. For example, you're speaking something and it has no arrangement, it will have no effect on the listener. For example, act sequence refers to the sequence of idea. Your idea should be sequential and in an arranged form. For example, telling a grandma story by and would have beginning, middle, and end with productive interruptions. I mean, there is a party and auntie is telling a story about grandma. It will have a start, middle, and end, and there would be productive interruptions by other family members, which would be very fruitful. It will be in an appropriate arrangement to convey the content. Okay, there would be an arrangement. Then later on, audience will move on to another topic because it would be like a healthy conversation. For example, description of cricket match. We would say we woke up, got ready, went to field, we won the toss, selected to bat, then played, etc., etc. There would be hierarchy and there would be arrangement. I mean, if you're telling a story, there would be a plot and series of events should be connected to each other. This is how we speak. We don't speak from end to start. We speak from start to end. Key refers to tone. What is your tone? What is the manner? What is the spirit you are talking in? We can describe an event angrily. Our tone would be harsh. Excitingly, our tone would be, exciting in an exciting manner. Sarcastic manner, your spirit is sarcastic. Disappointed tone, your tone would be disappointing. I mean, this contextual feature defines the way how we are using the language by using tone, manner, spirit. What is we are happy, we are sad, mostly about the feelings and how we are conveying the message humorously, sarcastic manner, angrily, excitingly. This is the key that was given by Dell Hymes as a contextual feature. Next is instrumentalities. It consists of language, dialect, that what are the instruments you are using to convey your message. You are using any local dialect, you are using the standard in language, you are using a register, or even the instrument, like you are using face-to-face, you are doing face-to-face conversation, you are on the texting, you are emailing, or informal family gathering. So these all are the instrumentalities you're using in a conversation. Forms and style of speech. The aunt might speak in a casual register with many dialect features or might use a more formal register and careful grammatically standard forms. So it depends on the nature even. I mean, your face-to-face, your conversation would be different. On emailing, your conversation, register, language, dialect would be different. Your style would be different when it is a family gathering, and your style would be different when it is a formal gathering. So this is the instrumentalities that affects your speech. Norms of interaction. Okay, norms are the customs of interaction that is varies from one society to another. For example, in one society, it could be okay to interrupt others, but in some societies it is very bad to interrupt while someone is speaking. Even the norms from the male sides and female sides are different. Males are okay to be interrupted and to interrupt others, and they usually interrupt too much, but women don't do so. So it depends on the society, culture, region, area, even gender, social class, and all different other factors. So this thing should be kept in the mind before starting any communicative event. Whenever you go, if you go to abroad, you should know their norms of interaction, that how they want to communicate and what are their norms of interaction. Directly related to the cultural roots in communication will take place. How will student talk with teacher? This is the norm of interaction. I mean, how will student talk with teacher? It should be implicitly understood by the student and the teacher. How will children would supposed to talk in front of parents? Will there be turn taking or more than one speaker can talk simultaneously? How would we interrupt someone on conveying wrong message? I mean, we would say directly you are wrong, or we would use some euphemistic. I mean, the comforting language to make someone understand that he or she is conveying the wrong message. Or how would we convey this to a person? By using the norms of interaction. For example, interruption is acceptable in informal setting but not acceptable in formal circumstances. Genre can be casual conversation. What is your genre? I mean, in literature we study a genre, maybe drama, poetry, verse, short story. So in speech or in communicative act, a genre can be casual conversation. It could be travel guide, a sermon, a political speech, a poem, an advertisement. In all of these genres, your speech, your register, your tone, your manner, your goal, your everything would be different. And I think you guys have understood this topic, and if you have any question you can ask me. And keep watching, and I need your support, and keep loving me. Stay there, stay blessed, and enjoy the blessings of Ramadan Kareem, and remember me in your prayers. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.